Good day, Shane. It is nice seeing you at our first session. By the way, I am Miss Margie Gatchalian, a registered counselor. So this piece of paper that I will give you right now contains all the necessary details about me and my professional work background as a counselor.
Same Miss Margie. It is nice to see you too.
So Shane, how are you today?
Uh, Not very well, I guess.
You said not very well. Why is that?
Well, it's been 3 months since I lost my father, and ever since then, everything seems to be hard. I mean, my emotions have overpowered me to the point where I don't know what to do or how to deal with them. That's why I came here for you to help me to get through this phase of my life.
First and foremost, please accept my heartfelt condolences for you and your family. I understand that it is a very hard time for you, as you stated. I also would like to commend you for your courage to seek help at this very moment of time. That is very brave on your part.
Thank you, Mom. You heard it right. All of these emotions. I mean, it's really hard to process. I don't know. It's just very complicated.
I understand that it is complicated and hard for you, and just like what I said, it's very brave for you to seek help. Anyway, if you feel overwhelmed with your emotion, you can freely express yourself in this room, as this is your safe ground. Everything that will happen in this session will be kept in private.
Thank you, Mom.
So, you just said that lately you are overwhelmed or overpowered by your emotions, right? Can you tell me what these emotions you are experiencing right now?
Well, for the past couple of months, I feel sad. I just can't believe that my father is gone. I I wish to God that I have more time with my father. It really hurts to think that he's gone. I really love him. I hope there's another chance for me to see him and tell him all the things I wanted to tell him. You see, Mom, me and my father was really close. I'm like a daddy's girl. But also, since he was gone, I will experience constant worrying.
And this worrying that you said, can you tell me more about it?
Well, since my father died, I feel overwhelmed with responsibility now. What I mean is that since I'm the eldest, it is expected for me to take the lead now. Also, since my mother is also getting older and I'm the eldest child, it is expected for me to take the lead now. I feel that I fear that I can fulfill that role.
From what I heard from you, you are being overwhelmed by responsibility, therefore you feel anxious. Does this speak truly of your experience? I just have a question. How does this worrying accompanied by your grief affect your daily social life?
I don't know, ever since I experienced this emotion, I feel quite detached from everyone. Although I try to spend time with them, I can't help but feel like there's a glass wall separating me from them whenever we're together. For this reason, I also feel like I'm not fully expressing my emotions to them.
You're having a hard time expressing your emotions in front of others. Why is that?
I don't know, maybe because if I show my emotion, people will look at me as weak. I mean, I am the eldest child. I should be strong, regardless of who is in front of me. I should always be strong.
What makes you think that way?
I don't know, I think it's just how it is. It's just embedded in our culture, I guess.
Do people around you really expect you to always be strong?
I don't know. I never really asked them.
Do you think this action was helpful for you?
I don't know. I think it's not.
You said that you were close with your father and that you grew up listening to his teachings. Was this the same for your mother and siblings?
Actually, I have a pretty good relationship with my mother, but we were not really close when I was young, since she was mostly attending to a store at that time. As for my siblings, we have a pretty age gap, pretty big age gap. Able to bond with them that much, but I really care for them, and I really want to be a better big sister for them, as my father often reminded me in the past.
It seems to me that you really took your father's teachings to your heart.
Yeah, and it's not actually just my father. My friends from my college years who I still frequently keep in contact with would often scold me about mommy's things.
Why do they often scold you?
Well, even to me, it seems pretty ironic, but my friends often tell me to take it easy and do not shoulder things alone.
Why do you think it's ironic?
Mhm. I just I just think it's quite the contrary to how I was brought up. I grew up trying to do my very best in everything, and to be suddenly told to take it easy just seems such a contrast to me. I guess I really owe it to my friends. I mean, those short times where I can just relax, because actually nowadays I feel pretty suffocated with what's happening in both my family situation and my work.
Is your work also causing you stress?
Yeah, a lot actually. I feel like things are happening so fast nowadays. I'm currently working on a project that may score me a promotion. So I'm really trying everything to make it work.
How about your workmates? Are you on good terms with them?
For the most part, yeah, they're great people who I can be comfortable with. But since I'm really, really trying to get that promotion, you see, I feel like I can't depend on them and do most of the work myself.
From what I understand, you're really working hard for this promotion so you can also better support your family. Am I right?
Yeah. And I can see myself really really being at a loss if I won't be able to get hold of that promotion.
Is this because you're afraid to fail and to disappoint your family?
Mainly, yeah. I, especially now that I am the only employed family member, I think it has become my duty and my responsibility to work hard to provide for them.
Are your mother and siblings aware of these feelings and thoughts that you think it has become your duty to support them?
Honestly, I'm not so sure. After what happened to my father, I've been so lost in my own thoughts that I feel like I can really connect with them, with my mother and siblings now.
What do you mean by saying you feel like you can really connect with them now?
It's like there's always this missing piece whenever I interact with them. And although I try really hard, I try my best to bond with them in my free time. I feel like I'm not being 100% of myself.
As I listen to your story with regard to the relationship you had with your late father, as well as with your other immediate family members, it seems to me that despite the cup of bond you have with your loved ones, you, as much as you can, try to build a better relationship with them. Since you look up to your father the most, it has been quite hard for you to maintain a stable relationship with the people around you due to the unfortunate event of losing someone dear to your heart. As a result, you tend to be eaten up by overwhelming emotions and anxiousness. With regard to this, how do you usually handle sentiments?
Sentiments. As much as possible, I do not want to let others feel the struggle I have from within. That is why I just ignore these feelings most of the time and simply accept the state that I am currently in. I do not want to be to be a burden to other people because I believe that I am tough. However, I put a lot of effort to open up to my mother, specifically because I know how much she could understand me if I share these feelings with her.
I see that you consider not keeping everything inside of you. Would you want to tell me how would you disclose your feelings to your mother?
I I feel like I would first ask her if it would be alright for me to freely give voice to my current struggles, since I am fully much aware that our situation is also not that easy to accept from my mother's vantage point, and she is also still hurting a lot as much as I am hurting as a daughter. I guess it would be pretty much appropriate that she could also be well cognizant of my own feelings. I feel like I should find a timing where the atmosphere is pleasant and there will be no other easily expected extraneous variable that might hinder our conversation.
Can you say that you will be very much comfortable doing that?
At this point, I can say that I'm not ready and at as ease of expressing my genuine feelings to her because I believe how much safekeeping and validation I could get from telling this all to her.
From what you have stated, it can be perceived that you really tried to convince yourself to seek a healthy heart to heart exchange of feelings with your mother. I believe that you have seen that what you seek to do will help you maintain a good relationship with your mother, who portrays the role of your father from now on. Is that correct?
Yes, I do believe that I could also know her true feelings as well as the baggage that she carries by having such a conversation with her. It is not only for me to feel relieved, but I can also be able to at least help my mother be appeased little by little.
It seems to me that you are trying to build a relationship with your mother that could be quite similar to your father when he was still with you by doing what you ought to do. Since you've experienced loss, I see that it is important for you to have a well established bond with a person who is equally as important as your mother in the persona of your mother.
Well, I I think that is as part of my responsibility as a daughter. Don't get me wrong, I about seeing it as a responsibility. I believe that it is beyond that. It is what's necessary and must be done out of love.
As a mother myself, hearing those words was music to my ears. You look like a very much realistic modern hero to me. A reliable and loving daughter who knows her priorities well, despite internally experiencing struggles.
That's what people usually say after me. Thank you, mom. I also believe that I carry a strong character.
Would you want to tell me how you embody that strong character of yours?
Because I adore and look up to my father the most. I think I mirrored his strong character and I always try to make myself believe that no matter the weight of my problems would be, I am tough and I can always surpass towards triumph.
Did you always want to appear strong outside? Does that help you in dealing with your struggles?
At first, I really thought that it is the right and most appropriate thing to do because I do not want other people, especially my family, to see me during my weakest points. Sometimes I am convinced that it helps me feel good, but only for a short period of time. At the end of the day, I would come to sense that I cannot always get loose from my unwanted feelings by just keeping everything within and pretending that I am not hurting.
What happens to you every time you free yourself from appearing strong and tough outside?
I feel much better. Now that my father is no longer with us, I realize that the idea of him being strong, which I keep on instilling in myself, for the longest time is far from what he truly was. He was strong, but he shares his burdens with us every time he had a hard time. He made sure to not suffer alone because if he did that, he only loses himself from his competitor, which is his struggles. Appearing weak is always alright, but I believe standing tall after digesting everything out should transpire.
Is it right to say that your father's death, although an unfortunate event, can be considered as something that brought you a great life lesson that you can depend upon in situations like what you disclosed as your main current situation or concern?
Absolutely, ma'am. Even though he's already not here physically, I can feel his loving presence through the amazing life that he lived upon, which provided me with lessons and motivation to go through life despite the overwhelming feeling it gives.
Upon hearing those awe-inspiring words from you, my heart jumped with extreme joy, because I've seen how you really value the life of your father, in which you were also able to lay hold of sense of purpose and drive towards your life. At your young age, I am a living proof of how you can be beyond successful in striving for your profession and making your family proud of you.
Thank you so much, Mom. I appreciate your kind words. This session has been such a great help.
You're very much welcome, Shane. Well, I guess see you at our next session.
I surely do, Mom Margie.